Excellent choice of topic. That's a powerful and educational discussion. Lee Kuan Yew's leadership model is a fascinating mix of strict governance and visionary development. Below is a complete live podcast AI video script for 3 presenters, ideal for a 10 to 12-minute AI-generated video or podcast. AI podcast script. Title: How Lee Kuan Yew's dictatorship plan was used to build Singapore format. Live conversational podcast. Duration: approximately 12 minutes. Presenters: host, Aisha, balance and analytical moderator. Co-host 1, David, historian and researcher. Co-host 2, Kelvin, social commentator with humor and insight. Intro: 00 to 045. Background music fades in, camera pans across a modern studio with microphones and screens showing the Singapore skyline. Aisha: welcome back to Global Minds Live. Today we're diving into a topic that's as controversial as it is inspiring. How Lee Kuan Yew's so-called dictatorship plan helped transform Singapore from a struggling island into a global powerhouse. David: Lee Kuan Yew wasn't your average leader. Some called him a visionary, others a dictator. But no one can deny that his model worked. Kelvin: yeah, imagine taking a small, resource-poor country in the 1960s and turning it into one of the world's cleanest, richest, and most efficient nations. That's not luck. That's leadership with a plan. Segment 1. The historical backdrop. 045 to 330. Aisha: let's start from the beginning. After gaining independence in 1965, Singapore faced unemployment, corruption, and racial tension. Many doubted it would survive. David: exactly. Lee Kuan Yew saw that Western-style liberal democracy might not work for such a fragile new nation, so he adopted what he called guided democracy, basically strong central control combined with long-term planning. Kelvin: in other words, he said, let's focus less on politics and more on progress. Isha: and it worked, because his control allowed for fast decisions, zero tolerance for corruption, and strict social discipline. Segment 2. The dictatorship plan, 330 to 630. David: now the term dictatorship plan isn't official, but people use it to describe how Lee ruled with an iron hand, controlling the press, limiting opposition, and enforcing tough laws. Kelvin: yeah, chew gum? Big fine. Litter? Jail time. Protest? Permit required. But the funny thing is, Singaporeans accepted it because the trade-off was stability, safety, and prosperity. Aisha: he prioritized nation before individual freedom. His philosophy was, without order, freedom means nothing. David: that control helped build trust in government and attracted investors who valued predictability. Segment 3. The strategic blueprint, 630 to 9. Aisha: let's talk about what made his plan succeed. David: 3 things. 1. Meritocracy, positions based on talent, not connections. 2. Anti-corruption, transparent institutions, severe penalties. 3. Education and housing. Every citizen had access to quality schools and affordable homes. Kelvin: and don't forget, English was made the working language. That united Singapore's diverse population and opened doors to international business. Isha: it's amazing how a so-called dictatorship created one of the most democratic economies in the world. Segment 4. Criticisms and legacy, 9 to 11. David: of course, not everyone loved his style. Critics argued that Singapore traded freedom of speech for prosperity. Kelvin: true. Some called it benevolent dictatorship. You got clean streets and top schools, but you couldn't freely criticize the government. Isha: but today, even many critics admit that Lee's discipline and vision built the foundation for what Singapore is now, a model of efficiency, safety, and multicultural harmony. Closing, 11 to 12. Kelvin: so, was Lee Kuan Yew a dictator or a developer? Maybe both. David: maybe the real question is, Would Singapore have become this successful without that tough leadership? Aisha. Exactly. His leadership reminds us that progress sometimes demands structure, but the balance between freedom and order is what defines a nation's soul. Altogether, thanks for tuning in to Global Minds Live. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time.